Hello, this is Bill Clodsey. Welcome to a modern cube draft. This is the mid-rangey cube that's online now, and a few changes have been made to it based on the new sets. We'll see if we can keep an eye on any of those. Got some Solemn Recruit in here and things like that. It doesn't seem to be as combo-centric or even aggro or control. It's kind of, as the name suggests, the mid-range cube, kind of unofficially, that you want to be doing stuff in the mid game. And there are a lot of powerful things. Play your threats, defend them. This pack has Myr Battlesphere, Gideon Jura, and some ramp elements as well. It's not to say that aggro and control just aren't in it, but they aren't necessarily as good since there are more mid-rangey things going around. Really tough pick here. So many cards are kind of the same. Oh man, I'm going to take Elvish Mystic because ramp sort of is still good. We'll see if we can see what we can do about this. All right, pack 2. Nothing that goes particularly well with Elvish Mystic here. Porcelain Legionnaire is a nice one. Spell Queller can be good. Verdant Catacombs is going to help us in any deck we end up building, even if it is ramp, but certainly some 5-color nonsense. Verdant Catacombs will do well. I'm going to take that here over Legionnaire because Legionnaire completely gives up on our first pick, and the other cards here are just kind of meh. Alright, what next? Sphere of the Sun's a bit of ramp for some decks. Search for Tomorrow, not bad. Then we've got payoff cards. Sorin Grim Nemesis. It's these big planeswalkers that have flashy effects. Those are what you want to work towards. And it's easy enough to be in 5 colors if you get, all the colors if you get some fixing like the Catacombs. And Search is just not like the big ramp card you're really looking for. Yeah, take Sorin here. What else? Arbor Elf. Might be a good sign that ramp is open, getting a couple 1-drop elves, and these are good ones. Untapped Forest. There are a few ways of enchanting your own lands to make this even more powerful. Besides that, we're looking at Tasigur, so that's not too exciting. This is more of a more important card for the ramp deck than any cards up here are for their respective decks. Note that these dual lands, the ally-colored cycle lands, are here because it's one of your best options for fetching 2 colors besides the shock lands. Okay, Frost Titan, another good payoff, but puts us in more colors. Maybe we're not interested in doing that right now. Flooded Strand, also good. Thragtusk, impossible for any kind of aggro deck to beat, which is a point in its favor. Nissa, that's a good one too. I kind of want Flooded Strand. So here I'm looking at Nissa, Frost Titan, Flooded Strand, and Thragtusk as options. You know, just the perfect mid-range card, Thragtusk here. A little early for Frost Titan if we're not in that. Yeah, that only gets lands and creatures. I'm going to take Flooded Strand. I want to be able to do any cool thing that we open. Den Protector, get back your Planeswalker, get back your fetch land. Sunpetal Grove, these are actually pretty powerful pieces of fixing because they come in untapped a lot of the time. And Bant Charm, solid removal in 3 colors. Just a little difficult to get going some of the time. And Strangleroot Geist to support green aggro decks. Go mid-range. I'm going to take Den Protector here. Alright, what do we have? Wall of Roots, Windswept Heath. Wall of Roots is one I'm a fan of, and it just makes a nice little base of creatures here. Turn 2, it's like if you can get this thing out turn 2 and you happen to draw an Arbor Elf, you just get to play that the same turn. It's like a little Llanowar Elf with haste. Sometimes that can be powerful, and it blocks. Hard to say anything too bad about Wall of Roots. Temporal Mastery is one I've found to be powerful in this cube. There are so many planeswalkers. You take another turn in the mid game and you're really doing it. Even if this gets stranded in your hand, late game taking an extra turn could be good too. So it's one to keep an eye on. Wall of Roots. All right. I guess we could take Garruk here. Eventually you're going to make lots of big worms. And if it's not that, Maelstrom Pulse is a fine pick, but looks like we're really getting into green. Prophet of Krufix. Huh. I like that. I'm surprised to see Gideon Jura wheeling, but here we are. Prophet of Krufix. So you get to just untap all your stuff every turn. Vigilance, mana, and then flash in your creatures. It's a cool effect. I'm not sure if it's what we want, but you know, let's go for it. Take away green from everyone else. Spell Queller, City of Brass, Banefire. I want to stick on to non-red cards because we do have so many pieces of fixing for non-red stuff. Dictate, Reaches, Glorious Anthem. Dictate is super strong. It's just too hard to use, but I don't want to play against it. This is a league, so we won't need to worry about that. Spear of Heliod, too. Shoot, I guess we could have been a Honor of the Pure. I guess we could go full, 360 and draft a white aggressive deck. Flicker Wisp. Can happen. I mean, if these cards are just the last picks, these are the 3 best cards in the deck. In the white aggressive deck. But we missed the 3-1. So we really have to decide now what we're going to do here. Blade Splicer, Figure of Destiny. If that's that open... Boy, I'm going to take Figure here. We're doing it. We're getting out of... We're going to try it. I can't believe it's that open. We even have a Flicker Wisp, and we could potentially splash Sorin if we get like a white-black land, or black-green land, or black-blue land. Something will let us splash it. Imagine making 15 1/1 black vampire knight tokens with lifelink and making them all 3/3s. It'd be pretty sweet. Smuggler's Copter is good, and Adorned Pouncer gets way better when you're pumping it up. Reckoner's kind of cool too. I'm going to go for the Pouncer. We need to fill in our creatures really quick here. Soldier of the Pantheon versus the Paladin. We just have to take these 1-drops. You just got to get the curve going so that you can put down spears and dictates on the later turns and win that way. So take these 1-drops. Even though they could wheel, they certainly have a good chance of wheeling on this table. So does the Paladin. We'll hope to get that guy back. Take what's more important for us. You don't always want to switch that late, but if it's that open, you can get away with it. If you get 3 first picks in the last few picks, then yeah, here we go. I mean, it just seems to be wide open. Double O-ring for 6, single O-ring for 4. A little expensive, but sometimes you just play this on turn 6 and get rid of 2 blockers and win the game that way. We'll take Isamaru. Ooh, here we go. Gideon's Lawkeeper, a little less exciting in cube because it does take that mana investment to tap, but still good. I mean, just the fact that you're playing it so early means you can attack with it. It gets bigger with these pump effects. Brimaz is just so much better though. Ooh, here we go. A couple insane options. Kytheon and Gideon. So young Gideon before he's renamed. And Gideon, ally of Zendikar. That's really tough. Audric's kind of cool too. Because I want all these 1-drops, and I guess Gideon, ally of Zendikar is replaceable. Maybe he wheels. Kytheon has a higher chance of wheeling. I'm actually going to go with Kytheon here. and Selfless Spirit. And the only consideration there was the curve. I just want to make sure we have a ton of 1-drops and the best 1-drop. So this is probably the best 1-drop. You can get Mind Stone, Dismember. Mind Stone's not really in it. Obzedat's too heavy black. Dismember has a possibility of being good. Yeah, Blade Splicer Wheels, we'll take that. In this cube, cards like Bane Splayer are really good, but we're going to try to go under all the people trying to do stuff like that. Especially with an Anthem effect. This is 3 mana for like 6 power and toughness with the Spear, 5 with Honor, and then 8 with Dictate. It's a lot of power and toughness for what it is. Revelark. Kind of neat. If you're going to go into the late game, you can get back some of your small dudes from earlier. Right to the battlefield. That said, we could take Godless Shrine here. It makes splashing something like Sorin a little easier. Yeah, let's do that. Silverblade does wheel. Not too surprised about that. And we want to put all our anthems over here. There is actual Anthem, Glorious Anthem, which does the same thing as Spear, except it's not an artifact and it doesn't have any other text. Let's see. Okay, or we could kill our opponent's Anthem with our Forsake. Let's go with Quarantine Field. We missed out on Gideon, so having something to do on turn 4 is a good plan. Lawkeeper comes back. Audric, another good thing to do on 4. Some of our stuff will get Flying, Double Strike, and this can copy all that. First Strike, Lifelink maybe? Do we have any of that? Right, we could give Gideon or Kytheon indestructible and then go to combat and everything will follow suit. Alright, one of my least favorite cards in Cube, Entreat the Angels. This just never works out. I always start with it in my opening hand. We get to turn 5 and it's just a 4/4. I'd rather have any other card. Handwear Militia Captain. That's insane. So it has to come back around to you to flip, but it's already a 2/2, and when it flips it's kind of insane. You just get to keep making more creatures. And since we do have this ton of 1-drops, he'll flip pretty early. Heart of Kirin and Thalia, maybe the best 2-drop for what we're trying to do. Heart's a little worse when we don't have so many Planeswalkers. We kind of gave up on one of the best ones. And not a ton of creatures with 3 power also, so it doesn't get crewed for free. But Thalia is great. Premium 2-drop in a white weenie deck. And we're not actually doing too much that's non-creature. The big thing are the dictates and such. Sorin's probably not in it. Disenchant's cool. Ulamog's a nice addition to this cube. Hard to beat. And another premium 2-drop on Offenza. With so many, tiny creatures to cast, you're going to be stacking up a lot of +1/+1 counters with this Ancestor. This is a good looking curve here so far. Spectral Procession. That gets a little more expensive with Thalia, but oftentimes you'll just be paying 3 or 4 for it. And that's a lot of creatures. This is the kind of thing that makes the anthems so good. Honor the Pure, Dictate, Spear. You only need to resolve 1 or 2 threats that aren't answered for, to kill your opponent when you have a couple anthems out there. Dragon Hunter. It's weird to see a couple of these tempo cards in blue and white. Core Hookmaster, Mistraven. Whatever. It just doesn't seem that good. I mean, it's great in its respective format, but it's 3 mana. It just doesn't pack the punches. Coming down on 2 turns earlier and having the same power. We'll take Dragon Hunter. Angel of Jubilation and Spirit of the Labyrinth. Both of those are kind of insane. Sublime Archangel's good too. We're going to go a little wider. That's tough. I'm going to take Angel of Jubilation. A real reward for being just mono white. Mirror Entity. Starting to approach a critical mass of cards here. Mirror Entity's fine. Ooh, Glorybound Initiate. And Lingering Souls, but I'm going to take Glorybound Initiate. And then we've kind of done it. Banisher Priest, sure. We've kind of done it. Get rid of Quarantine Field. And there's our deck. We'll keep out Flooded Strand, or Catacombs and Shrine. We just don't need those. Shrine doesn't actually do anything for this deck. It would have been good if we picked up that one thing. Chain to the Rocks, not exciting. If we picked up the Spirits. But then what are we going to do? Play Godless Shrine, Catacombs, and maybe a Swamp, but then we lose out when we're trying to spend so much white. I don't know. This seems like it's fine. Because this is 24 playable cards, and they're all white. So we never have to worry about activating Figure, because we have one Swamp in play, or missing our first play here. Hookmaster's back. I like the Banisher Priest. It does two things at once. It gets rid of a blocker, and it attacks. But yeah, that's just identifying when one of these aggro decks is open. And oftentimes they will be. People are trying to do some crazy things in Cube, and they don't want to be just drafting aggro over and over again. But I want to win it, and I actually like this style of deck. Just getting Dictate, so late in pack 1 was kind of insane. And here we go, Spirit of the Labyrinth is back. Is that better than anything we have here? It's actually not. So now we have access to our Sublime Archangel, which I'm going to cut. It's not my favorite. It's powerful, but I'd rather have this number of things. Well, the build's easy. I'm just going to add all planes here. In fact, we might want to go down to 15 and then put in another cheap card. If we have any. Dismember, sure. I mean, if we're not the aggressive deck, then I don't know what. We can spend some early life. And that's about as cheap as it gets, 1 mana to kill any blocker that could be relevant by that time. Yeah, sure. Looks good. Any last minute changes here? No. So here's a pretty perfect looking white aggro deck. Let's see how it compares to all the mid-range decks we're going to run up against. Hello, welcome 15 land deck. This is mono white aggro, white weenie versus Greater Gerardon. Probably a pun on their name. They're down to 6. I'm actually going to keep this. This hand is really bad, but at the same time, if this was like a 5-card hand, it'd be pretty good. Could use one more creature or something. Yeah, so we're really curving out here. If the threats didn't line up so well with like a nice curve, then it'd be a pretty easy mulligan, because it basically is a 5-card hand. Granted, we have one thing in the deck that does cost 5. And we can always sink some mana into our Figure of Destiny. So, having extra lands is not the worst. Alright, before attacks, it's Dahlia time, so they don't respond with anything. And then I guess it's Flicker Wisp next turn. We don't have a good way of pumping the Pouncer. If we had an Anthem, of course we'd play the Pouncer into that, so we could drop our Anthem on turn 3 and then attack for 4 instead of 3 with the creature we played. But it didn't work out that way, and I want to put them off of like a 3-drop Planeswalker or whatever it might be. It could have just dodged Ashiok. Alright. Flicker Wisp. I'm just going to bounce one of their lands so they can't mess with us. Till end of turn. See what they do. They might as well tap it here. I mean, you can kind of give your own thing Vigilance or untap a land, but we just don't have any way of using that, so... Yeah, so we're forcing their hand here. And if they want to trade with the Soldier of the Pantheon, that's also fine with me. Right. What they want to do is trade with Flicker Wisp. Alright, what's this going to be? Can't be Wrath of God. Or whatever is legal in Modern. Whatever version of that. Wrath of God might be legal in Modern, I just don't know. Day of Judgment. That's why I'm not so good at this cube. I just don't know enough about actual Modern. But you don't have to. You pick up a lot on the way. Come on, let's get an Anthem down here. Blade Splicer. That's not bad. Alright, they can make this trade if they have it. Because they're still taking some serious hits. Alright, well, here's hoping we don't die this next turn. 8. It's still not even lethal. And they just did nothing for that whole turn cycle. They've got their own Banisher Priest. They're going to kill our Golem, unfortunately. Poor guys. We'll never get it back. Spirit's a nice one to get into play. And we'll just leave our Splicer back until we can pump it up. We do have 3 or 4 good ways in the deck to pump it up. One of them's on a creature. They'll trade where they can. We're going to leave Selfless Spirit, so now we don't die to actual damnation. Just kill one thing instead of 4. Well, that should do it. It's going to be a lethal attack next turn. Thoughtseize. Ouch. Definitely lethal now. Not what they want to steal. Now they know. 6. It's incredible that we drew the same amount of lands as spells. 15 lands in the deck. But they had to mulligan. We've used our mana efficiently. We just don't have anything else. So if we can win with this, that is ideal. They just, yeah, that won't be enough. We can just swing here because of their own Thoughtseize. And there we go. They block the biggest one, take 5. Or the smallest one and take 6. Their choice. Alright, Esper Control. Esper Control, what can we do about that? We really can't do much of anything. I mean, we just don't have anything. Disenchant, didn't see a reason to bring that in. Flyers, are those good in this situation? Not so much. Exalted is really bad against spot removal. Oh shoot, gotta hide these profanities, my goodness. This person's just, they've gone mad. No, they're back again. Alright. You just have to bear it. This is the price you pay when you play Magic Online. You get exposed to all this toxicity. There it is. Honor the Pure. Can't lose. Kytheon's interesting to get down here. I'd rather play Isamaru this turn, because who knows what one power creature they're going to play to block with. Yeah, Bitter Blossom. Great. Then... Ooh, this is going to be such a great progression. It's Kytheon, Spectral Procession, Honor the Pure. And they're going to just hurt themselves with Bitter Blossom. That's one we could bring in our Disenchant against, but it's not even that good against us. I'm going to save Dismember. God, it's all so good. Also, I'm not going to worry about giving this guy. Indestructible. I just want to do Spectral Procession. And if it gets countered, well, that's really bad. Then I'll be the one cursing. That's not the worst way they could have countered it, because next turn we still get to do... I mean, not the best way for them, not the worst way for us. We're just going to kill it and cast it again. Thank you, Dismember. You're punting like crazy. What's wrong? Did they mean to block Isamaru? Would that have been better than countering? Oh, it has a mana cost of 6. Dang, that's really bad. I missed that one too. No, I don't believe it. When you pay 3 for this, the mana cost on the stack is not 3. That, well, I mean, those effects are kind of weird, aren't they? Like if that was an X in the cost and it said pay 1 less for each white mana you use or something silly like that, then the mana cost would have been 3. Oh well. They got robbed. They got robbed. But we're playing great. Sure, Kytheon will flip after this. So they're going to try to kill Kytheon. Maybe Dismember will save him. Maybe he'll just let a lot more damage get in. 12. In any case, we profit. It's all about the profit. We could have dismembered beforehand. I'm fine with this outcome, though. Can save Dismember for something better that we can't actually deal with. Then what? Yeah, let's make Spell Queller attack. Puts Gideon down to 3. If they pump it or something crazy, we save the Dismember. We're just never going to have to use the Dismember. And then we actually have mana for everything we want to do next turn. The Priest to remove a fairy, Dismember to remove their last blocker. And this thing becomes a 4/4. Every Gideon becomes a different size. This becomes a 4/4. Or 5/5 with the honor. 12. So looking at 12 damage. Uh-oh. That's going to take out Gideon. I'd assume, because that's kind of the biggest dude out there. Well, that's a good reason to bring in Disenchant. We saw that game 1 too. We need a couple more punts from our opponent, then we'll lock this up. 7. Yeah, let's get rid of that Spell Queller. We don't have a good answer for it here. Ooh, that might do it. So we're going to pump up a Spirit. Banish this guy. I'd already F6'd here. That puts them at 1. Wrath of God is what they need. Oh no, the Bitter Blossom kills him. Oh, it feels bad when you have the win and you don't even realize it. But having the win is nice. Hello, round 2 here. Sir Bonazzoni gets to feel our blade this time. And here's our other Anthem effect in creature form. So what should we do here? What's the most mana efficient? It doesn't really matter, but I think I like leveling this up on turn 2. Well, no matter what we do, we're leveling this up on turn 2. But kind of for the same reason, definitely a keep. You're a limited master? Wow. Or I am a limited master. Well, I don't know about all that. Shucks. Give them the old good luck, have fun. Deign to notice them. I'm just trying to get free wins with white weenies. So let's get Figure out there. So it doesn't get beaten by a Llanowar elf. Oh shoot, wrong ability. There we go. Ah, these hybrid manas. They're so hard to use. So this becomes a 4/4, which will be +2 power. Oh god, Flicker Wisp. Not anymore. Now we could Flicker Wisp the Journey, but I'm pretty sure that accomplishes nothing. We could could untap a mana. Are we also playing a mono white deck? Okay, get back the Figure. That's not that good. I'm just going to untap Kytheon. Why not? And then we're still attacking for a crazy amount of damage next turn. Seven. Crazy. And a lot of the ways white has to remove creatures are not destroying them, so holding up Kytheon's, yeah, I guess that'll do it. Holding up Kytheon's Indestructible doesn't make too much sense against a white player. There's no Sand Blasts in this limited format. Disenchant, is that worth bringing in? Versus the 1 exile spell. Probably is. Mirror Entity. Good card. It's not a very gorgeous card, though. And that's enough for me to take it out. I always do that. Bonazzoni. I'll be like, this card is bad. I'll be playing something like Trophy Mage with 0 3-drop artifacts in the deck, so just you can't get anything, a 3-mana 2/2. And I'll realize it after round 1 and play it every single round after that. Start it and then sideboard it out. But in the leagues, you get to change your deck up between rounds. So you don't even have to make that mistake. Game 2. So it really helps us when we're on the play. We're just trading terrible card quality for early damage. But this hand looks great. You don't want to see a lot of lands, but you want to see a couple, and you want to see stuff to do with it early. Everybody's favorite thing to face down on turn 1. Kytheon. We just didn't get to see them do much at all. Probably they were missing their second color. Now what do you suppose they do here? I'm just going to let them block. If we had another mana, maybe we'd dismember it. But we don't. we don't have another mana. Not a huge energy theme in this cube. There is a few cards that give it, so really you just have to judge this on its own merits. They're going to attack, and then on their next upkeep they can draw an extra card. We can kind of prevent some of that. Let's also make the biggest power play we can here. And hope they don't have -1/-1 to all creatures. Black Sun Zenith, something like that. Menace, can't even block it. It's alright. Whenever they attack with a creature, it's just removal. And they lose a life when they draw a card? Huh. Really tempted just to let that keep happening. Also, I'm too greedy for damage here. Let's just attack first. On offensive won't see herself enter because it's another non-token. And we can hold up Kytheon's ability here. Condemn! Oh no! They could have done this in response to the exert trigger, so we wouldn't have gained more life. We'll just have to take it. And I guess I'm still interested in them not drawing a card. Just useless energy for the rest of the game. And it does take away a blocker. If they get to draw one card and then block something, that's still kind of annoying here, because it does block on offensive pretty well. Uses our mana nicely. Thoughtseize. Take Pouncer. They'll just take the Captain, I guess. Unless they have some Oblivion Ring. Then they could take this. Yeah, here they go. Goodbye, Onoffenza. And it is exactly Oblivion Ring. Come on, land off the top. Or that. Sure, I'll take that too. I'm going to do Pouncer and Figure, because if we draw an Anthem effect, that could just be way more damage. And the Captain checks for 4 creatures, not 3, so it's just as good next turn. One of these weird effects that checks on your upkeep, so it has to survive a whole round before it even checks. Uh-oh. Goodbye, everything. This is gonna hurt. Or it'll just be a creature that is pretty efficient. Nice, and we can totally deal with it. All they can do here is trade with the Pouncer. And that's not really what you want to do. I mean, it's done its job by killing the Figure. And I'm glad... In some ways, I'm glad they're not trying to run into Kytheon there, because we wouldn't get to play the Captain. We need to play land this turn in case we draw land and get back our Pouncer. But they've done a good job controlling us this game. As long as it's not Grave Titan or Sun Titan or something, then we are okay. Shoot, that is a 3/3. Not much we can do about that. That's going to start making vampires. Yeah. Drawing perfectly. Although, we still need creatures, and we still need a pump spell to attack through our vampire friend over there. Ouch. Non-artifact creature. Well, it's not an artifact. Yeah, we had a good draw too. To be fair, we had a lot of planes in our deck, so... Ugh. Actually, we should play this land. I know it's not exciting, but it means we have 2 indestructible activations from Kytheon. It'd be fun to get a 3rd game here. Alright. What's this going to be? That's a good card. We need one more creature, and then we can start going crazy with the captain. But one vampire turn is also pretty good. 5 or more vampires. 2 more turns, and they're going to have 4/4 vampires. Oh, that's good against us too. So their play here is to block Bramaz with 2 vampires. It sets them back a turn, but it's still really good. No, they're not going to do that. Oh, I guess they make a vampire and block with the Simulacrum. Oh, come on. Where's Baneslayer Angel when you need it? Ooh, that's pretty good. They weren't counting on Bramaz having double strike. No, they weren't. Then they just single block it. I think that's okay. So we could attack with everything. Flip Kytheon. Untap a creature, it gains indestructible. Hanweir Captain still doesn't flip. Yeah, this is kind of dumb. Kytheon doesn't do anything. They're just going to kill it next turn. We could untap a creature that doesn't block. Let's just do this. Fair enough. And that wouldn't have been any different than attacking with Kytheon. They know we don't have any cards in hand. Alright, that's a lot of vampires. When this transforms, it doesn't untap, right? Alright. Oh no. No, you gotta be kidding me with the Elesh Norn over here. Yeah, that just kills us. Elesh Norn. We have to beat them before they play Elesh Norn. Let's just go ahead and say that. Even Mirror Entity can't save us from that because it's temporary. Shoot. What did we put in? Probably something not as good as Elesh Norn. We put in Disenchant. I think that's still right. And then 15 lands. Looks good. Odric. A bit odd. But still fine. Core Hookmaster. That game was looking good until it kind of turned around on us. Let's try again. On the play with the aggressive deck. Starting with Kytheon every single round. Keep. Kytheon into Thalia. Makes Spear a 4-drop, but we have stuff to do before then. Anyway. Duress? Thoughtseize. Oh no. Well, this is bittersweet if they take Thalia, because it unlocks Spear. It's also annoying for them to pay the 2 life. But if they do take Thalia, we might just not have a play for a while. So, probably the card I'd least want them to take there. Land. No. Is this how we die? Thoughtseize is so good in Cube. They put in Despise as well, so there's Duress, Thoughtseize, Despise, all these effects. I don't know. Ooh. Well, they just lose now. There's no way they can beat this draw. Bitter Blossom is going to kill them. Yeah, this is not good for you. Shoot. But we could have easily just lost this game by drawing anything but plains this turn. It's that close. It's not going to look close. Yep, just mono white every time. I only have 3 trophies in this, by the way, but we'll try to make it 4. Ultimate price, I don't even care. It doesn't even matter. Get wrecked. So, yeah, I mean, it's a 2-turn clock. Kind of. Well, I guess if they block, it changes things. But they're taking damage off their own Bitter Blossom, which I tend to forget about. Banish some of these creatures real quick. Disenchant. Don't even want to disenchant. Flicker Wisp. Why, yeah, why? Their own Bitter Blossom. That card is bittersweet. That card, like, if we had a black-white token deck, I mean, that's kind of where it gets really good. Spear of Heliod just pumps all the Bitter Blossoms. Well, they're never going to pay energy, that's for sure, but yeah, that's got to be it. It's got to be it, unless they can gain life or answer their own Bitter Blossom. Cool, on to the finals. Hello, here we go. In the finals, 4 lands. It's a lot of lands, but a 40 card deck, if you're starting with a lot of lands, it does really thin the deck, so you shouldn't be on course to draw too many more, if you're lucky. And we can get things going here. Same idea, Hound attacks through more on turn 1. Unless they play a dragon or, I guess just a dragon. Hunter is better against the turn 1 dragon. Oh god. Can we draw an Anthem effect? 2 on turn 2, 5 on turn 3. And they might just not have a play here. No, they have the best play. Check it out, though. We're just not going to have to worry about that. And then we can tap it later. Pretty cool. Don't you dare play Ashiok. Don't play that either. Liliana kills Flicker Wisp, yeah. But we get to kill Liliana, so that they don't get to keep doing this as much as they want. There we go. So, yeah, it was a 1-for-1, but they gained 4 life off of Liliana. I know we already did this, but it's kind of funny to keep doing it. Just careful not to do it when you've already done a bigger one, because I think it'll get smaller. What the heck is this thing? You lose X life and X... and draw X cards, where that's the number of zombies you have. Why couldn't it be a dragon? Well, here's to not knowing what to do. I kind of want them to lose life. I don't know. They're not going to block with either creature. It's kind of like Bitter Blossom. I mean, they can't even play more zombies without taking a big hit off of it. I'm a little worried that the card they get is going to bail them out of all this. But if we just attack with everything next turn... No! What does that get? Probably something we can't deal with. I mean, even just a lot of our 3-drops would be good. I mean, it could get Banisher, Priest, and take Lawkeeper. It could get our cat dude. Yeah. Oh, they chose that thing. It's a little surprising. Dismember was an excellent draw, I have to say. Because here we don't just win, but we almost just win. We're going to force the block with Banisher Priest to at the very least unlock our dude. Come on. And then make this guy a little bigger. There. So they can draw something, but it's going to have to be real good. Bribery's insane. Is this actually modern legal? And this is just a cube all-star. It does kind of get worse with the... Shoot. It gets worse with the power level of the cube. So if you have a less powerful cube, it's kind of less powerful. Still can't actually do much here. Just tap their own stuff down. This thing doesn't get lifelink, does it? It does get flying and first strike. Okay, good. Wish they had another zombie. So what I'm trying to say is this card's nuts, and it's crazy to see it in Modern Cube, but it still only gets the creatures from Modern Cube. So it'd be worse, for example, in like a standard set limited, where the only thing it's going to get is their 3/4 for 4. What the heck? Stop. They're trying to kill us this turn? I mean, they don't. But nice try. 10, 14. Wait. No, they would have killed us if we didn't tap something. So somehow we got there. Legionnaire. It's just this card's really good if you're aggressive. It's also really good against aggressive decks. And I'm sorry we didn't pick it up. That was back when we were drafting green. I did take a good look at it, though, because it is just so powerful in a deck like this. I mean, they're just definitely dead, right? Did they draw something good enough? I don't know. We'll see what's going on here. And come back when they've decided. Okay. They see the writing. Like, it doesn't matter what we do. We could misplay the heck out of that game and still win because they kill themselves with their own Bitter Blossom effect. We need a way to kill their stuff that steals our stuff. So a really good card against that is Flicker Wisp, because it comes back to its owner. Things like that. The only thing I can see is this Quarantine Field. Disenchant would be good against Control Magic or whatever the 5-mana version of that is. Quarantine Field's good against Silumgar. Archangel's kind of neat. Don't want to mess things up too awfully much. I'll take out Audric and put in Quarantine Field. Looks good. Now Audric's a good one, but Audric works better when you have creatures, and if they just kill all of our creatures, then we need something to, or steal them, we need something to bail us out. And if you're going to get Silumgar with Quarantine Field, that's pretty good. Also, blue-black doesn't have amazing ways of dealing with these enchantments. The only thing blue can do is bounce them. But I like that change. It's also something we can do if we get flooded. 6 mana, get rid of 2 things. Has to be non-lands, but we'll be alright. Game 2. Awkward hand, but we finally get to try out Dictate of Heliod. Dictate plus Bramaz. That seems good. even on the same plane. It's good to have Heliod on your side. And we're still getting lands. Lands are important. The way I expect this game to go, play Thalia, they kill Thalia. Play Bramaz, they don't kill Bramaz. Turn 5, dictate. That'll be good enough. And we just draw lands for the rest of the game. Yep, so far so good. Killing Thalia. Can't kill Bramaz. Oh my god, that card's so good here. Whew. Angel. So we'll be attacking for 4 this next turn. And then players can't pay life or sacrifice creatures to cast spells or activate abilities. What a weird line of text. I mean, it deals with certain specific things. Oh, they're going to kill Bramaz. Well, that's not ideal. Alright. We need to play Angel before Spectral here. We get 1 turn off where they don't kill the Angel, so we can try to pressure Obnixilis. I hope. I hope that's how this is going to work. Shoot. Yeah. They can pick off one of our dudes, but I want our dudes to be a little bigger. Don't kill the Angel. They're doing it right. This cube is all about playing these threats that activate every turn and defensing them. And stealing your... This is a good way of defending it. Recruit your opponent's best creature. This has been a lot of fun. This has been really cool. Here's how this goes. We play Spectral Procession, Dragon Hunter. They kill 2. We play Dictate next turn. I don't see a way around it. Yeah, they plus to kill. That's the worst. Maybe they only kill 1. They'll be greedy with Obnixilis. Just gotta hope. Maybe we can draw removal for the Sower to get back our own Angel. Our draw was ridiculous. It was actually absurd. Well, I'm glad they didn't kill the flyer based on that thing. And they should probably keep... No, they should probably attack with Angel of Jubilation. Because if we can kill the Sower... I don't know. Seems good to have it tapped. Now, what should we go for? These things are going to hit pretty hard. They're almost guaranteed to block 1. So let's attack Liliana with 2. And Obnixilis with 1. That probably kills the Sower. I really hope it does. Love Dictative Healer. This card is way too good. It's possible they have an answer, but hopefully they don't, and we can hurt some Planeswalkers here. No matter what, like, they might have an answer for one of our attackers, in which case they kill the one that's going for Lily. And that's fair enough. It's about to be real bad for us. But we get back our Angel of Jubilation. So that's cool. Now it's Nicol Bolas. No, Silumgar taking it again. Another one. This is like bribery. Silumgar is so good. they've got the emblem. Can we kill them? We can't even do anything here. Let's attack Obnixilis here. They're going to be tempted to block with Silumgar, so we can trade with Silumgar by making it a 6/6. The funny part about this is other non-black creatures you control get +1/+1, so it's not actually pumping their team at all right now. It pumped Sower to a 3/3, which was still fairly annoying because it traded with the Spirit. And they're going to take it. Well, let's just make them take more. Wait, it's Obnixilis. We don't need to do that. Oh, well, it's not like we're going to block anything here. We could block a zombie. Not much we could do to get out of this. Our best bet would be drawing the card we sided in, the Mega O-Ring. $13? Wait, that's like way too much damage. We can't take all this. That's 10. We can sacrifice 5 permanents if we trade off here. Just try to make it big enough, but no bigger. We don't need our lands, right? Oh no, it didn't have Death Touch. We should have made it 6. Whatever. I never know how this thing works. But to be fair, it's only a 1/1, and we'd have to sacrifice another land. And we're pretty dead anyway. Liliana Emblem. So another play we could have made is to attack all 3 spirits at the emblem. A little too late for Dismember, unfortunately. We can't even cast it. Not enough life to pay. Alright. Cool. I'm glad we brought in Quarantine Field. I'm not glad we didn't see it. Dismember is still an amazing card here. Anything else? I'd love to have more exile effects for creatures, but we don't have it, so let's submit again like this. Sublime Archangel is kind of cool. Ooh, here we go. If we can't win with this hand, then it wasn't meant to be. It's got everything we need. One way or another, we're going to make figure a 2/2 on turn 2. Or maybe not. Selfless Spirit, getting that into play does the same thing here. It does 2 damage next turn, whereas Honor of the Pure deals 1 and then 1. I'll play the Spirit. Flicker Wisp is kind of neat. Oh god, Pyroclasm. Sure. Oh shoot, we F6. We could have saved our figure. Wouldn't you know it? Alright, hopefully the power of our deck will make up for our misplays. I can't believe they just went for it. They got us with it. 2 damage to each creature. Sacrifice this, make indestructible. Oh well. We don't have time for tricks. Don't kill Bramaz, please. Let us attack once with Bramaz. You can play Liliana again. Give it -2. 3. It should only take 3, but we have Honor of the Pure. So they're not doing any of that. Oh, that's so good. We die to another Pyroclasm. But if we can just be really greedy for a second. Just for 1 second here. I'm trying to think what we're playing around not to play out this Spectral Procession this turn. I can't think of it. Now if they steal a creature, it's not that good. Don't kill everything. Yeah, they can steal a creature. Then what do? Then we can bounce Sower. No, of course, we bounce Bramaz here. Or next turn. This is really close. If we don't bounce Bramaz, we just can't attack. Right? I mean, if we bounce Bramaz, we just can't attack. That's what I mean. They could steal it again. I'm going to Flicker Wisp here. Gets a lot of power and toughness into play. And pass. We could have forced in 3 damage there by trading 1 creature, but Honor just makes it so much better. I'm hoping they don't have a good play here. It's really bad for us if they do. Because there's so many sweepers. Like, our board looks much better than theirs right now, but 1 card could turn it around pretty easily. Trying to think, like, a lot of the cards they played game 1 wouldn't really do it. Liliana doesn't do it on her own. What's-his-face doesn't do it. Graveborn Muse doesn't do it. Yeah. If that's their best play here, we're just going to attack with everything. They can kill our Cat Soldier, but we're going to make one anyway. And this, I mean, it didn't even count. Like, sometimes you don't have to think playing Magic. When you're playing mono white weenie, you get a lot of these moments where it just doesn't matter. It's obvious you should attack with everything. Kind of refreshing. Ooh, look at that. I mean, they're dead to this, right? Right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. If they kill Flicker Wisp, that's 13. And then we'll try to have their own Graveborn Muse kill them. Yeah. Okay, so that was just lethal. Nice. We won the draft with a nice white weenie list. And I think the cool part about that is we changed into white in pack 2 at the end of pack 1 because of Dictate of Heliod and Spear of Heliod and all kinds of things of Heliod. It just shows you the power of finding what's open on the table, especially in a league, because you're not really cutting anyone that you're going to play against in a league. You have to be mindful of like cooperating and getting the best deck that people want to pass to you.